Alright guys, I just want to show you real quick how to do a flash attack with the same weapon that you're using. So let me show it to you what it looks like in action, so you know that I'm not full of crap. Alright, let's do it one more time. So voila, that's what it looks like with the sword, and you can do it with some measure with every weapon. So how exactly am I doing this? So I'm going to break it up into, let's just say, 3 steps. So the first step is pretty simple. Make sure you're holding R1 prior to the key pulse. That way, you can prime yourself to switch weapons. So, let's take it up a notch to step 2. So, hold R1 and swap prior to the key pulse. So boom, you could swap your weapons without incurring the key pulse. Simple enough, right? Let's do it again. Make sure to swap before the key pulse. So that's step 1, step 2, and then step 3 is the simplest of all. Just make sure to do a standard flash attack back into your primary weapon. Not like that. Let's do it with the actual weapon that I intended to do it. Voila. So, I'm going to repeat it one last time. Swap your weapon prior to key pulse. And then on the key pulse, make sure you swap back. So the button combinations are hold R1, swap to your weapon. As the key pulse is happening, let go, and then flash back. Let's do it one more time in real time, just so you can see it for good measure. Voila, that's all it is. Now, I personally don't use this that much, but if you choose to do so, here's one thing you need to keep in mind. This will not work for every attack in the game. It will not. I have tried this with every single weapon, and I have noticed it failing in some capacity. So, why does it fail? Or you might think it has to do with speed. Maybe you think it has to do with the axe. But, as you can see, that's not the case. So what's going on? Now, to explain this, I want to explain something that is included in the game by default, and that is its own animation cancel via the key pulse. See here, watch me do Morning Moon with the key pulse, which you would normally do, versus without. Took some time for him to ready himself. This will be even better illustrated with the axe. So let's do Lumber Chop with the key pulse. See, no real downtime, but then without. That's quite a big delay before he got himself back in order. So that information is crucial to what I'm about to explain. So let's go back to Lumber Chop. So Lumber Chop, I can just tell you, unless you're a god, I highly doubt you will be able to do the same weapon flash attack with this. It's just freaking impossible. I have never done it. That's how late it was to switch his weapon. So, what is that important consideration? Well, it's simple as this now. The moment in which you can key pulse versus the moment in which, let's say, you whiffed it. So, the longer that time period is, the less likely you are to be able to do a same weapon flash attack. So contrast it with, say, low stance. Let's just take a look at low stance normal attacks that I use for the demonstration. And let's see the earliest moment in which I can block. Pretty quick. Versus, say, Morning Moon. What's the quickest I can block? That's the quickest. So, again, the shorter the window is between the key pulse and the backswing of an animation, the more likely you are to be able to do the same weapon flash attack. So that's why attacks like Lumber Chop will not work. Because you basically might as well just key pulse and play normally instead of trying to do it, because the animation backswing is so long before you can normally switch weapons. So you can even try Spark. Let's see if I can do it. That was the earliest I could switch my weapons. So keep that consideration in mind as you attempt to do the same weapon flash attacks. That's all I'm going to say about the same weapon flash attacks. Thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.